How's it going, guys? In this video, we will be talking about week 9 of my current European Championships prep. And just like how week 8 finished, where it was away, we're going to start things in Lanzarote, and then I'll take you through my session throughout the week. So, this session actually started quite funny because the gym that we went to um, was a really cool gym, but it was very much a bodybuilding based gym. So in terms of like specialty bars and things like that, they didn't have any um, space to squat. As you can see here, pretty much was the only rack that was available. And then there wasn't really much space to deadlift, which you'll see afterwards as well. But I remember going into this session, seeing that and just thinking like, "Ah, I'm gonna have to switch up my days or whatever it may be, but I decided to persist. So we start off here with my speed squats, obviously no band attachments here. And in my mind, I thought I did 130, but actually, once I unracked the plates from the bar, I ended up doing 140 kilos, which now looking back, I was actually quite impressed with how quickly I was moving it because I genuinely thought I was doing 130 kilos. Then we move up to deadlifts and the kind of like green bluish plates that you see on the bar. Oh my god, they were so unstable. So originally I wanted to try and aim for anything between like a 250 or 260, but with the setup and everything, I was just like, let me just settle for 220. Again, going off that same notion that I did last or the week prior, where I was just like, let me just do the weights that I know I can do, giving me the confidence that I could have done more. The next two videos you see here are my back off sets, so 190 kilos. Again, just moving nice and quick. I find that when it comes to doing the back off sets, is like it's one thing to obviously take the weight down so you can still maintain form, but I feel like trying to imply all the cues and the intent that you want to apply when the weight's heavy, I feel like they're just as important when you then do your back off sets. Then we move over to day 2. So this was bench. It's my missus there giving me a nice little handoff. So again, just settling for what I can do. So this was a double at 140 kilos. Yeah, very happy to get that, and even got a little congratulations from the owner. Again, great gym, good vibe. Just a shame that they, I say they don't cater to powerlifting, but I guess just from a selfish point of view, I just would have liked to have seen at least more space to deadlift and squat, but it is what it is. Then we move over to my back off sets. So this was 120 kilos, for 5 sets. No, sorry, for 4 sets of 2 after my top set. So all in all, in terms of bench, again, just going very, very reserved, but just getting done what I know I can. Then move over to the Penlay rows. This was a set of 8 at, I think it was 120 kilos. But the annoying thing about this bar, I don't know why, but it kept on moving more on one side than the other. So I was very lopsided for the first few reps, and it kind of threw me off as the reps went by. So yeah, ended up just with 7 reps instead of 8. Then we go to day 3. So this day was really annoying. I remember I was talking to two of my friends, one of them that was training with me, and then the other one that was training in the gym. And I was, just trying to be like, I ain't no punk, get the job done and so on and so forth. And as soon as I unracked this bar, alarm bells was just ringing in my head, and I just felt like I couldn't do any more. So annoyingly, I decided to dump it. I don't recommend doing this. Walk the weight back in. Um, so once I unracked all the weights, put it back on the rack, decided to go for 200 kilos for a double, and that moved a lot better. And annoyingly, like I had to even talk to my coach about this, especially like off the back of my injury. And to be honest, this is not an injury that's quote unquote put me out, but it's been an injury that like I've probably, I say, struggled to get over, but it's been slow to get over. And what I mean by that is with injuries that I have sustained in the past, I've done really well, or rather, I guess I've felt that excuse me, has been a lot more swifter and a lot more quicker, to then get stronger and stronger. Whereas this time around, I just feel like I've not necessarily plateaued, as I mentioned before in my previous video, but I've kind of like got to a point where I'm just not getting any better. And it's really getting on my nerves. Um, but you know, this is my back off set of 180 kilos, and it moved fine. Like, I don't know sometimes if I'm just being my own worst critic, or the standards that I hold against myself are really high. But I'm definitely in this weird space right now where I'm not disappointed, but then equally, I'm not satisfied with how I've been performing, which has not been putting me in the best mindsets for the European Championships. But hey, we'll get through it. Then we have the snatch grip deadlift here, 140 kilos for a set of 8. Moved really nice, really smoothly. This is something that I definitely want to try and keep into the program, especially off season, and really try to build up on it. Then we move over to the back of sets. I think this was 110 kilos, for again a set of 8. Moved really fine. I've really found that these helped, especially just to keep my upper back strong, keep tension going from my glutes and hamstrings, especially since the knee injury in my hip, funny enough, has been really bothering me. So I found that this exercise has definitely helped me kind of work through my glutes in a way where it doesn't bother me too much. Um, and by keeping, that tension through the upper back again, I'm getting that benefit of just keeping my spine nice and strong as I do this exercise. But it's definitely a favorite exercise of mine for sure. Then we move over and we finish off with day 4. So this was the incline bench press, excuse me, close grip. And honestly, again, it's another exercise. This is not even to do with my injury. Like, I've just got to a point where I was progressing really well, and then all of a sudden, like, it just stalled. And I'm saying that again very selfishly because I remember I used to struggle a lot with the incline bench press at like 60, 70 kilos, 80 kilos. It took me a while to slowly start working up to weights that are very close to what I normally do with a flat bench. But nowadays it's just so jarring to almost hit that wall again. Then we move over to my last set of 4. So I did 4 sets of 2 at 100 kilos, which annoyed me even more because if I couldn't do 120 kilos for 2 as a top set, feeling fresh, then why can I still do 4 sets of 2 afterwards at 100 kilos? Anyway, then we move over to the seated barbell shoulder press. So this was quite a relief to have the back support on this because I just feel so much more stable, therefore able to move more weight. And again, just going for a weight that I know I can do. I think I've done maybe 75 or even 70 for 10 reps. So I had to settle for 8 in this one because that's what the program requires. So I just thought, let me just go off and do what I can, and go from there. Then we have the last of the 2 back off sets that I've done, which was 57.5 kilos, excuse me. And this was fine. This was absolutely fine. It's just one of those exercises that, again, I just feel very stable once I have that back support. And yeah, I'm glad that my shoulder strength is now starting to, I guess, match up to the broadness of my shoulders rather than the strength not being there despite the size. But let's see how it goes. So now I'm going to move over to deload, and then we're 2 weeks out, guys. Like, share, and subscribe.